So it seems the anti-porpoising debate has become very heated. As we know, prior to the Canadian Grand Prix, the FIA introduced a new technical directive with the aim of stopping the violent bouncing F1 teams such as Mercedes have been suffering this season, and while it seems that in Montreal, things have become a bit tense to say the least. And things seem to have also become heated about a flaw Mercedes had been using in practice in Montreal. And now Team Boss Toto Wolff has spoken out following a meeting with other teams, and it's fair to say he hasn't held back. I've done an explainer video on the rules which I'll leave a link to in the description, but basically a new technical directive concerning the vertical acceleration of the cars was issued. The way it works is that the FIA will monitor the bouncing of the cars using an aerodynamic oscillation metric, which teams must calculate in free practice 3 without using DRS. If the FIA then view the data and determine a car is bouncing too severely or too often within the margin set, the ride height must be increased by a minimum of 10mm. Now the rules do have the potential to hurt teams like Mercedes, since they may now be forced to lose even more performance out of force, while teams like Red Bull who suffer little to no bouncing may be okay. But these rules aren't being introduced in Canada, with teams having had it confirmed there'll be no metric established which they must meet. Instead, the next race at Silverstone will likely see the implementation of the full directive. An FIA spokesperson told the race, "It's felt that the complexity of establishing the metric from all the data from the different cars is not going to be an overnight job. There will be a careful and full analysis of the data gathered this weekend, and any application of it will be appropriate to whatever arises from the analysis." Well, it seems Mercedes have found themselves in the centre of an intense debate in the paddock. For starters, they experimented with a new flaw during practice in Canada which featured a second floor stay. But whilst allowed by the FIA's pre-event technical directive, rival teams questioned whether or not the team had advance notice of the changes, which is something Mercedes insisted it hadn't. And according to Autosport, there were then claims that the stay was actually illegal as the FIA had not changed the regulations to allow it. But it was removed as Mercedes said it failed to deliver any improvement on the car, with it actually seemingly making things worse. But then there were disagreements between Mercedes and rivals over the bouncing teams have suffered, with it apparently reaching a head during a meeting where Wolff is said to have expressed his anger over teams playing political games. Now, as we know, porpoising has troubled several teams, though Mercedes is by far one of the worst affected, both in terms of discomfort and performance wise. But Red Bull team boss Christian Horner has previously called the porpoising complaints from rival teams part of the game, believing that drivers were told to complain on the radio. And we know Red Bull aren't happy about the rule changes, and I'll leave a link to a video I've done on this in the description. But Wolff told Autosport that the situation has gone too far. He said, "All drivers, at least one in every team, have said that they were in pain after Baku, that they had difficulty in keeping the car on track or blurred vision. Team principals trying to manipulate what is being said in order to keep the competitive advantage and trying to play political games when the FIA tries to come up with a quick solution to at least put the cars in a better position is disingenuous." And that's what I said. I'm not only talking about Mercedes, all of the cars suffered in some way or other in Baku and still do it here. The cars are too stiff, the cars bounce, whatever you want to call it. We have long-term effects that we can't even judge, but at any time this is a safety risk, and then coming up with little manipulations in the background, or Chinese whispers, or briefing the drivers, is just pitiful. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments below. But that's going to be the video from me today. Thank you ever so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe for more videos, and until the next one, take care, bye.